somewhere in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, for some strange reason, is this place. Okay, listen, this is private property, and we are here with special permission. If you choose to come here without permission, you may be subject to arrest by law enforcement. Please be respectful of the property and leave it in better shape than you found it. Don't fuck around, don't find out.
Johnny did bring folks a heap of happiness. But shucks, he weren't looking for thanks. Didn't have time for it. He knowed a man can't take no rest if he aims to plant the whole darn wilderness in apple trees.
Certainly by now you have heard at least one story about Johnny Appleseed. If not, here is a brief and interesting history lesson.
Folktale time. This one is about American legend Johnny Appleseed. Are you ready? Let's go. Once upon a time, September 26, 1774 to be exact, a little boy named Johnny Appleseed was born. Well, they didn't call him Johnny Appleseed back then. His real name was John Chapman. Little Johnny Chapman grew up and decided to go explore the country. Remember, This was over 200 years ago, so he didn't get in his car, or fly in a plane, or even take the bus. Johnny took off on foot. And not only did he go on foot, he went barefoot. Johnny was always barefoot. He even went barefoot in the winter. Let's get to the apples. See, everywhere Johnny went, he carried a sack full of apple seeds. He walked thousands of miles planting apple trees. Pretty soon, people all over the country knew the man called Johnny Appleseed. A guy like Johnny is hard to forget. Not only did he go around barefoot, planting apples, he also had a habit of giving away his clothes to people who needed them. Sometimes he just wore a sack with armholes cut out. But the strangest thing about Johnny's outfit was his hat. He wore a tin cook pot on his head. You might think that's strange, but have you ever tried to cook beans in a baseball cap? Forget about it. Johnny looked strange, but that didn't stop people from loving him. He was kind to children and kind to the poor. He loved animals and nature, even bugs. Johnny Appleseed spent his entire life just planting apples and happiness. Over the years, people shared their stories about him, turning Johnny Appleseed into a legend.
So Johnny's story begins out near Boston, and one day he decides to start heading west on foot. Johnny began spreading his seeds all over Massachusetts, New York, parts of Canada, Pennsylvania, and then settling for a time in the middle of Ohio. We'll rewind back to Ohio in just a moment. In the meantime, here's Johnny's current place of residence as of March 18th, 1845, in lovely Fort Wayne, Indiana.
I think I was in the worst city in Indiana, and that is Fort Wayne, Indiana. Yeah, this is how I know that place sucks. This is what they're known for. Johnny Appleseed is buried there. That's what they're known for. My buddy was like, hey, do you want to go see Johnny Appleseed's grave? And I was like, dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even know that was a real person. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I was like, what, do you want to go to Pinocchio's house afterwards? We can...
2004. Here we are sitting in this beautiful theater. Nobody's here right now, but it will be full soon. Mm-hmm. And this is Bill Jones, and this is his dream made reality. Hello, Bill.
Hi, Judy.
Bill's our expert on Johnny Appleseed. He's a historian, and he thought of this beautiful theater as a great way to show the public what a wonderful person Johnny Appleseed was. And if you want to know about Johnny Appleseed, he's the guy that can tell you all about him. So, Bill, how did this all begin? Where did you start, having this relationship with Johnny Appleseed?
Well, I don't recall exactly when I was first introduced to John.
Mm-hmm.
Not in person, of course.
Right.
But it was at a very early age, in any case. With John Chapman, for me, there were elements to his character that I couldn't maybe at that age clearly define. Mm-hmm. As I got older, I started understanding his philanthropy and his motives for doing so. His humanitarianism, his self-imposed missionary work. John was a war hero, and a number of other things that make him a very, very unique folk hero.
160 years after Johnny Appleseed heads to that big apple orchard in the sky, this guy comes along and builds this.
Construction of the Johnny Appleseed Theater began in the winter of 2001. A lot of experience, sweat, man-hours, and tons of cement went into creating this beautiful 1,700-seat theater that was finished just before opening season in June of 2004.
According to this article from October 13th, 2000 by The Daily Record, Bill Jones was looking to raise $3.8 million for the construction of the amphitheater, an indoor auditorium, a library, classrooms, and office space.
Hello, my name is Tim Smucker, and I'm privileged to be the honorary chairman of the Johnny Appleseed Heritage Center Fundraising Committee. It was only natural for our company to participate in this project because, according to folklore, my great-grandfather, J.M. Smucker, made apple cider and later apple butter from the trees that Johnny Appleseed planted in the early part of the 1800s.
In Ohio, we have many fine examples of folk heroes, but one in particular, John Appleseed Chapman, faced life's challenges with empathy and compassion. He was an uncommon man with universal appeal, known for his courage, sacrifice, and his impact on the lives of Ohio's early settlers and the generations that followed. John Chapman, better known as Johnny Appleseed, is a true American hero. Johnny Appleseed Heritage Center's 45-acre site lies within the 118-acre Johnny Appleseed Forest, halfway between Cleveland and Columbus, Ohio. Its location was chosen carefully for its relationship not only with Appleseed's activities, but also with exciting events that took place during the early settling of the region. Johnny Appleseed actually lived and worked with native inhabitants and early settlers in these very same hills. Members of the Institute of Outdoor Drama assisted in the site selection, and they reported, many guests will consider their visit a pilgrimage to the hallowed ground where these events actually took place. And they went on, this site is a superb location, as it is near many of the events that will be portrayed in the drama, and it's close to major highways, to lodging, dining, and fuel, as well as other recreational and cultural venues.
Impact should be very significant. With an estimated attendance of 65,000 people coming in, that's around $12 million in direct spending into the region, not just in one city or one county, it's into the region. That way Appleseed is going to benefit this entire area, north central Ohio. And that's great because it's going to support a lot of things economically here locally and not just in one specific area. It's going to have a broad-based impact.
I think Johnny Appleseed's story needs to be told. He's an excellent role model for students, again, because of his peaceful way of life and his life of service to other people. And
in addition to the more than 2-hour historical outdoor musical drama presented in a 1,600-seat naturally contoured and wooded amphitheater, the center will also offer an interactive museum focusing on Johnny's life, on the region and apple industry, and on the 90-seat J.M. Smucker Company indoor auditorium and library. Also planned are nature trails, an indoor classroom, and outreach programs for children and adults on philanthropy, humanitarianism, and conservation.
Recruiting for actors would begin in March 2002.
We're talking to Johnny Appleseed himself, sitting right next to me, David Craven. David, is this your first outdoor theater experience?
Yes, it is.
And how does it differ from working in a regular theater inside?
Well, there are a lot of things in outdoor theater you don't think about. The dust gets to you after a while. My voice has dropped 2 notes this summer.
Okay.
I'm barefoot in the show, so it's an interesting thing to find yourself.
This land we call Ohio.
The Johnny Appleseed Heritage Center opened in 2004 and then very quickly closed its doors in 2005 with no apparent ability to operate the facility profitably. Well, here's some potentially good news. Despite numerous attempts to repurpose this venue, recently a Chicago-based company began evaluating the possibility of a glamping destination here. How cool would that be?